Okie dokie. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I do see the bubble around my image kind of bouncing back and forth. So that's letting me know that I am on screen. Let me verify by going to my social media platforms to see what it is that you guys are seeing. So I will know on my end. So let me verify that I am actually live here inside of the Facebook group as I want to be. And I do see that I'm live here. I want to bring up my YouTube channel as well to verify that I am live inside of my YouTube channel. And if I am, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. So earlier today, guys, I sent out a text message because generally I'm supposed to be live between 12 and 12:15 on today, Mindset on Monday. And what I'm talking about today are um, just trying to help you guys understand some things that you didn't know, right? Some things that are keeping you broke, and I'm actually going to show you how to fix it. So hopefully you guys will get an opportunity to see this tonight if you're jumping on live tonight. If not, you will catch it when you catch it sometime on tomorrow. I was going to send out the text, but I did not want to offend anybody and have their text message go off this time of night and they get upset or get offended. So I wanted to cover that here in the very beginning. So when you actually do get an opportunity to catch this live, you will understand why I did not send out the text message. And that is because I did not want to offend anybody by sending out the text alert here at close to midnight. But I was not going to leave Mindset on Monday without giving you guys this information. Now, let me go ahead and prerequisite all of this with a clear understanding. This was mind boggling, exciting, and life changing for me. I don't know what your response to the information is going to be. I do not know how you're going to receive this information. However, I did want to take the opportunity to share it with you so that you can see whether or not it is something that is for you. Okay, so I have titled this Mindset on Monday. Okay, and why you are broke and how to fix it. Okay, so I'm going to reach over here and grab my notebook that additionally has a few extra notes in it to help me along the process of explaining this. And that is because I want to take my time with it. So this may be a lengthy one. That's the reason why I decided to do it privately inside the group. But mainly the reason I decided to do it privately inside of the group is because I wanted you guys to have access to it first. And then as it begins to take some type of shape over on YouTube, maybe it will expand and grow and other people will find interest in it as well. But my main point and purpose for doing this was to make sure that you guys receive the information. So hold one hot sec. Want to make sure that I can see the comments in case they come open. Want to make sure that I can see everything on my end perfectly clearly. And it does look like I can. So now that I verified that, I'm going to hop back into my StreamYard here. I'm going to at least go ahead and initiate my branded information, having that on the screen and purposed as I've taken all the time to get it done. I want to make sure that I go ahead and use it. So I have that positioned on the screen as well. And one of the reasons that I'm doing all of this is so that you can see the full gamut of a brand take shape. So most times when you see my information, you see myself, Martina Britt Yelverton, the brand master. You see me sharing my information. You see me posting my brand marketing everywhere. You see me sharing with people that I am a brand master, that I am a cash flow queen, that I am an income strategist, that I am also a Google My Business educator, and I am also an ambassador with the Knightdale Chamber of Commerce that is in the city of Knightdale, North Carolina. And additionally, I am becoming a brand new Forex trader. So most times what I'm helping you with within this information that I'm sharing with you all is to help you understand that you need to always, always, always be marketing. Okay, so let me go ahead and jump right into this area and then I'll be right back to let you know more. So guys, even having a strong brand video, a strong brand logo, having a lot of strongly branded content, what I have found is there are still additional leaders and people of influence that are out here literally killing the game. And one of the reasons that they are literally out here killing the game is because they know something that we don't know. Okay. In the description that I accompanied this with, is I let you guys know a little bit about the history of why this was so important for me and why I wanted to share it with you in the capacity that I am sharing it with you. My daily goal is to brand you, educate you, and help you ultimately leave a legacy, but bottom line, to help you. I've been referred to as your go-to girl for simplified graphics that you can actually manage yourself. And guys, here in the last 12 years that I literally have not worked a corporate job, and it's been longer than that if I count the 3 years that in 2005 I left corporate America. I haven't worked for corporate America in over 15 years. However, I have not been able to reach the level of income that I wanted to have, even with working with churches and ministries, small corporations, startups, home-based business owners, and here being focused in the MLM industry here for the last 4 years, working with representatives, associates, independent business operators, financial directors, district directors, executive directors. Even working with all of these, I still had not been able to kind of grasp what the missing link was. And that is what I'm sharing with you tonight. I love, enjoy, and have a passion for helping people. And if you're in need of what it is that I've been able to, offer and help people with, I'm going to drop this here into our comment area. And I'm going to ask that if it is for you, if it's something that interests you, if it's something that you feel that you need, that you would take the opportunity to do what? That you would take the opportunity to go over there, that you would click on the link, that you would have a look at the 30 days of free Brand Master coaching that is available there for you. Okay, now it is there. It is for you guys to be able to utilize in whatever capacity works the best for you. And I need for you guys to actually implement the use of it and to make it pertinent for you. Okay, I want you guys to really take a hold of what I am going to be sharing with you, because it really, really, really is urgently important. Okay, so I'm going to remove that off the screen for now. Thank you so much for joining from Gary, Indiana. So good to see you, Melanie, on this midnight night or early morning, depending on, what time of day that you're hopping in on. I get excited when I see people who are up in this late hour that are grinding it out and really serious about getting this information. So I want to take my time with it tonight. Could be a little lengthy. I started this out by initially saying to everyone when I started, I don't know if you're going to find value in this information that I'm about to share, but dadgummit, we've been broke long enough. I know I have. Okay. And once I figured out this missing link to what it is, it's like this past weekend was extremely peaceful and restful for me, because it's almost like someone just handed me the key. And because you guys are my heart here inside of this group, I wanted to make sure that I take the opportunity to share it with you all. Okay. So this is the best way I've been able to kind of make the acronym kind of work. Let's make May amazing. On last week, you could go through the timeline that are over on the business page, and you're available to see the way I kind of broke that down for you with, mastering and making a plan, taking the time to activate the plan, and then yielding to nothing that is not a part of that plan. Well, even if you do that, I figured out this past weekend, there is still a missing link. Okay, there is still a missing link. And now that I know what that missing link is, I want to take the opportunity to share it with you guys, to show it to you guys, and to help you understand what's next, what you need to do next, and the fact that you need to go ahead and move forward with getting this done. Okay, so what I'm saying here is you need to know your numbers. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about in knowing your number. Okay, so Bill Britt says there is no secret. I simply showed this plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no, and only 300 signed up. Out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. And even out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And believe it or not, even out of those 35, 11 is what made Mr. Bill Britt a millionaire. So if you don't know your numbers, you can't get to the end result of what your vision is, what your big whatever is, if you don't know your numbers. And so a lot of us get hung up, if we're in the MLM industry, with how in the world do I build a team? Other people get hung up with just running a brick and mortar business and trying to get customers through the door because there's an overhead that they have to cover. There are products within that building that need to be sold. You have even the mindset of a congregation entering an edifice. There is a certain amount of tithing that even needs to happen, you know, for, I hate to say it, for the ministry to pay the bills. Okay. And so what I'm trying to get you guys to is everyone has a number. Everyone has a number. And so if you don't know your number, I don't know how you expect to honestly attain your number. So if you don't know your numbers, know that you are knowing and that you are numb. Okay, if you don't know your numbers, know you're numb. Okay, because it's almost like you're walking around enacting, doing things for no specific reason. You guys hear me say a lot, you can't go from the East Coast to the West Coast without a GPS, without an atlas or a map, some type of plan, some type of blueprint. So if you don't know your numbers, that's what you're doing. You literally are walking through a situation not knowing your numbers, and you're saying no to your numbers. That's what you're doing. Because if you don't know the end result and you don't know the number, you can't get to the number. It's almost like I'm hungry for something. There's something that I want to eat. There's something that I want to taste. There's something I have a hankering for. There's some specific food that I want. And when someone says, well, is it a cake? You know it's not sweets. Well, is it spicy? You know it's not spicy. Well, is it salty? You know it's not salty. It's almost like hit or miss, hit or miss, hit or miss, hit or miss. Do you realize how much time you just wasted hit or missing? When if you knew what the end result number was, you'd be able to hit the target every single time. So I started out that statement saying some people do not realize how to get to the number. Well, one of the ways I teach you guys how to get to the number is literally you need to determine what your vision is, what your value is, and what your voice is. If you've not had the opportunity to go through any of the quick snippet videos that I give on my mindset on Mondays, or my Watch Me Work Wednesdays, or my Free Stuff Fridays, or my Freedom Fridays, then definitely go over to the business page, Family First Designs, have a look at the video area and get that information. Now, I'm going to take a quick opportunity to show you where that is, just in case you are unfamiliar. When you log into Facebook, you are available to log into Facebook, and you are available to type up here in your address bar, familyfirstdesigns.com, and it will bring you right here. You're also available to type in my name in your regular address bar. Let's see if this brings up the correct page. It might shoot you over to my other business page. No, it does not. Okay. It will bring you here to my page. So if you type in my name, Martina Britt Yelverton, it will bring you here to the business page as well. Over on the left-hand corner, if you'll select the videos, the page will shift, and then you will be able to scroll down and you will see all of these value videos that I post weekly. This is free information. This is free blueprinting. This is free, access. All right. So do not miss the opportunity to go over here and get all of this free good. Okay, so that's where you're available to see that information where I'm speaking specifically about your vision, your value, and your voice. All right. In addition to that, I want you to understand that this is not a fly-by-night thing that I discuss when I discuss this plan, because believe it or not, if you don't know, again, what your numbers are, if you have no vision in mind of what your numbers are, you're going to struggle to meet the end result of that number. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to help you walk through, to help you see. Okay. So especially to you guys who are here inside of the group, I want to make sure that I take the opportunity to continuously welcome you and thank you, Elite Brand Master Coaching clients, because you guys hearing your questions that you ask me in private, and I don't know why y'all don't ask me publicly inside of the group. We're in a private group. You guys are available to ask me a lot of what you ask me in my messenger. You can ask me inside of the group. However, I'm especially thankful to you guys because you give me the opportunity to literally take what the questions are that you have and create trainings or find your answers or deliver your blueprints or whatever is necessary. Okay. And before I jump over into this specific screen, I want to show you guys, just in case you had not seen it, by me showing you here inside of this training, you guys will be able to kind of get redirected, and you will be able to go here inside of the group. So I put up an announcement. In this announcement here, I asked you guys, and it's a lengthy post, yes, but I asked you guys specifically here. Oops, that's not what I meant to click. There we go. I asked you guys here specifically to click on this link and to go through this questionnaire here. It's a follow-up vision request, and I'm going to show you the importance of this in just a moment. But I ask you guys to go through and fill this out. So those of you that are on here watching now, did you see this post? Did you see, well, I don't know why I'm asking that, because all I can do is go over here and click on seen, and it will tell me everyone who's seen it. Okay, so let's see. All right, Melanie, I know you're on here. Okay, you haven't seen it yet, so I can pick on you just a little bit. All right, this is showing me that you haven't seen it yet. So here inside of the group, there is a post that I put up, and I need you guys to go and click on this link, because when you click on this link, this gives me some really great data on where you are inside of your business, and it's going to help me help you know your number. Your number is your annual income number. What is your number that you want to reach by the end of, say, 2020? Okay, I'm going to click on a different screen here, and I'm going to bring up, let me make sure nobody's information shows here. Okay, this is the form. All right, this is the form that I'm asking you guys to go through and answer these questions. Why? And I will show you why. I'm going to pick on Lanita just a little bit, as well as Mr. Townsend just a little bit. I know Mr. Townsend has absolutely no problem with me showing a little bit of his information. So there are questions that I ask here inside of this that's going to give me some great feedback. All right. And because a lot of the information, and so far only 5 of you have responded, there are 20 of you in the group. Well, I need you guys to fill out that information, because let me scroll down past phone numbers and past your addresses. And let me pull this up on the screen, because here's a bit of the data that I'm looking for. One of the questions that it asks is, how has your business name been registered and or secured locally, state, federally, and or globally, right? This question is asking you basically, have you registered with your city's business office? Have you registered with your Chamber of Commerce? It's also asking you, do you have your state registration? And that could be your LLC, your S-Corps, any of that information. Have you done state registration beyond being incorporated as well? Also, have you secured your EIN number? That's through federal registration. And then have you gone through the process of getting found on Google, right? So what this is showing me is that 80% of you have completed your individual state registration and your federal registration, okay? Out of the 5 of you that have submitted. Okay, let's move on to another area of data that it's giving me. It's also sharing, you're also sharing with me that you secured some elements of your brand development today, that you have secured your logo design, that you have secured your web presence, that you have gotten yourself set up on social media to some extent, whether it's business or personal, okay, that you have maybe some other social media platforms. Like I specifically only asked about platforms that I know I can immediately assist you with, and that's Facebook, YouTube. A little bit we're starting with LinkedIn now because it is a business platform, right? But then you may also be listed on Instagram. You could have a Pinterest page. You could be late to the game for Periscope. But I wanted to know a little bit of that data as well. And then I also asked, have you gone through the process of securing your business goals, your mission, and your vision statements? 60% of you have, 40% of you may have but want me to review it. This is giving me some really great insight on how I can additionally help you. Why? Because my whole point and purpose is helping you get to your annual end result number. Okay, so the reason that I'm asking you to do that is because, thank you so much. Please go and click that so that you will have the access to go through that whole thing. Because honestly, where this came about from, Melanie, was people hit me in Messenger a lot and they asked me a lot of questions. And this is going to segue me into the next part. They asked me a lot of questions. Because I'm a passionate for this, I spent a lot of time in Messenger answering these questions. And then I come to figure out that's an hour of my time that's gone. I was not able to recoup any type of funds for it. I was not able to be reimbursed for it, but the time is gone. You cannot get the time back. And that client may never convert. They may never convert because they may not really understand. They asked me about branding information. I gave them the branding information. However, because it was off the cuff branding information and I was being specific in answering their question, they didn't see the full vision of why they actually need to get branded. So that time is gone. That information is probably falling on deaf ears as well. Okay, so what prompted me to make this shift was, how many freaking questions do I answer repeatedly for people who actually don't convert and begin to understand the importance of their brand? Hundreds of hours of questions. That means hundreds of dollars gone. I need to create something where they can physically see, visually, and make that process click, click, type, something that they can hold themselves actually accountable for, by even requiring of themselves to say, what do you mean? And I'm going to, look at some of the questions while I'm answering this. What do you mean? Do I have a separate business address? What do you mean? How many years have I actually been operating this business? What exactly is my specific product or service? Wait a minute, what do you mean I needed a budget for marketing and advertising? I want them to question themselves, not just, hey, how much should I be spending on Facebook ads? I don't know. How much are you trying to generate in a profit? How large of a space are you trying to reach people? How much should I spend on a Facebook ad is not a fly-by-night question that you can answer immediately. And then finally, when I ask questions like, what are your brand forward visions? I want them to go, what is a brand forward vision? What in the world do you mean? I want them to take the opportunity to have to stop and study that question and go, well, I don't know. Would I want stock photography in my brand, or would I want it to be just me and my congregation and the people doing worship, or the people being baptized? Or no, I don't want stock photography showing business meetings. I want my actual Zoom meetings to be what is in my photography, showing that my team is actually training. Like, I want them to stop and think about what they want and what they want to see. This is the reason for asking these questions, okay? So to segue that bit of information into what that means for the annual income number, if you don't know over the course of a year's time how much money you want to make, if you don't know by the end of the year you want to be moving into a house, and then reverse engineer that to determine, well, shoot, we in the month of May. If I'm really trying to be moving into my house by the end of the year, shoot, this is May. I ain't got but 7 months to get my ish together. You see what I'm saying? That is what you're doing with reverse engineering. So let's look at how that actually transitions here into the annual number. Okay, your annual income number. You want to envision that. Then after you envision, and we're going to cover how to get to your annual income number, just bear with me, how you make it. How will you make that money that ends up getting you to your annual income number? And then finally, well, let me back up. The next screen that I'm supposed to have in here, I think is 2 screens away. And I think that's because I switched up the way that I discussed it. How will you make your number? I need for you, anybody who's catching this on the replay, Melanie for sticking and staying with me right now, I need for you to grab a piece of paper. Hopefully you started this with your pen and your paper and you're ready to take some notes. But if you didn't, get a piece of paper. Give me a thumbs up, or I got my pen and paper right here. Something to let me know you got it. Because this next screen is going to help you get your annual income number. And by the time I finish explaining this, the next screen after this, I'm hoping that blank that I have on my screen next to voice will be the silence and the crickets that you are, having verbally, because in your mind is going 50 miles a minute. Okay. Getting a sip of water here. Okay, cool. All right. So get ready. There is something called the rule of thirds. This past weekend, I took a course from attorney Takora Davis. This is the first time I'm giving her credit. The second time I heard it somewhere, and by the third time I hear it, it's mine. Just going ahead and giving her accolades now, because I was mind blown. Takora Davis, I paid for a course, and out of everything I got, this is what blew my mind. Okay, the course was called The Price is Wrong. And it answered the question on why you're broke. You don't know your numbers. Okay, so let's see. And we can use you as the test dummy if you will allow me. If not, I'll throw my own numbers in here. If you already know off the cuff, off the top of your head, you can use a figmented number if you want to, or we can go with a real number. What is your annual amount that you want to make in a year's time? Melanie, since I have you here. It could be an off-the-cuff number. It could be a divine number. It could be your real number. I know when I threw mine out here, I said $100,000, period, point blank. All right, so let me pull over my calculator. I hope you aren't driving this time of night where I'm asking you to engage with me. I just realized I'm asking you to engage with me. I probably should have hit you beforehand and said, will you engage with me on this live, since you're the one that's on here. But I know my number. I wanted to be the one to say I make $100,000 a year. This was before I understood taxes. This is before I understood that out of that $100,000, I had to make some coins out of it, meaning I had to spend some coins out of it. But okay, we'll go with that number, 120,000. So let's take 120,000, and you're going to write this down on your paper as well. 120,000, and you want to divide 120,000 by 12 months in the year. So 120,000 divided by 12 months in a year means you need to make, or your goal for every month is $10,000. But wait, why? Because let's break it down even further. Okay, $10,000 divided by the 4 weeks on average in a month, which means you need to be making $2,500 a week. But let's break it down even further. Let's divide that by you working 5 days a week. Okay? 5 days a week. That means you need to be making $500 every single day. And finally, let's break that down one more time and divide it by 8. That's $62.50 every 8 hours, meaning 8 hours, every hour for 8 hours. Okay? So here's the magic. Now multiply $62.50 times 3. $187.50. You're probably going, why do we need to multiply it by 3? I'll let you type that question because I know you asked. So I'm glad you asked. Because, well, I'll wait for you to ask. Need some Jeopardy music. Because trust me, when I was watching the webinar and the workshop, I was like, okay, $62.50. Okay, I can figure out why I'm missing that and where I need to be making $62.50 an hour. I can do that. I can figure that out in my head. That's what I was doing. Okay. And then she said, multiply it times 3. For me, my number was 52. So that question was the times 3 for. Okay, my number was 100,000. Just threw it out there out of the air. And when I broke my numbers down, my numbers broke down to $52.08. Yes. Then she said, multiply it times 3. Okay, I'm being coachable, teachable, trainable. I'm going to multiply it times 3, and I came up with $156.25. You came up with $187.50. Here's why. Let me get it on the right screen because my calculator's sitting in the way. That's why. You said you wanted to make $120,000, right? That's what you said you wanted to make. Well, along the journey of you having $120,000, you're going to run into some people that you may have to outsource this to, some people that you may have to pay, some people that could be called bills, some people that could be called tithes, some people that could be called children, CHIL''REN, children. For some of us, praise God, I'm not in this category yet, but some grandchildren, you're going to run into some people that are going to eat up 1/3 of your money. Now, if you're running a professional business and you're doing your registrations and you're doing your trademarks and you set up your branding and you're running your software and you're running the business and you have some overhead, that's going to eat up another 1/3 of your money. Why? Because you have self-employment taxes or you have taxes that you have to pay out. And you know, $100,000 at 15% is, this is me off the cuff of my head, 15,000. No, yeah. 15% of 100,000 is $15,000 in taxes that you will lose if you don't have experts in place to help you protect your money. Let's just talk about you don't have services or experts in place to help you protect your money. You just know you made $100,000. And if you are in the 33% tax bracket that most Americans are, out of that $100,000, you just paid 30 something out, right? Mind you, what you want is $120,000, Melanie. That's why you have to then multiply it by 3, because you need your first third of that 120. If it were just 120, to go out to the people. You want your second third to go and cover all of the overhead, all of your taxes, all of your hardcore expenses, right? Because in the end, you want $120,000 in profit. That's why you multiply it times 3. Now, I'm going to take your 187.50 and we're going to go back up and go times 8 hours times 5 days a week times 4 weeks times 12 months. You have an annual income number of $360,000. And the way that you are going to reach $360,000, so you have $120,000 in profit, is whatever you do 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 4 weeks, for 12 months at this point, for the remaining 7 months of the year, must bring you $187.50 per hour. Voila! That's why we are broke. We don't know our numbers. Enter all the explanatives, explicit explanatives, or however you say that word, into the blank. This is what you don't know. And this is why we're broke. Did you have a light bulb moment? Child, I could hardly sleep. I could hardly sleep because I went, that's why I had no money. What I've been doing with my branding and increasing my marketing has brought me such a great increase over the last 2 months. I was like, thank you for opening my mind up to some of the coaching and the training I'm receiving. Let me bring this to my group. Let me start going live on my business page, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week, to get this information out to you. And the way that I did it was to start showing you. That's why I pulled up my business page just a moment ago, to show you. I literally had to make myself go live, right? And because I'm not 100% comfortable with the natural hair, especially now that I cut off all the gold, I can't wait for the economy to open back up just long enough for me to get to somebody so they can shave this off on the sides and make it gold again on top. Then y'all won't be able to keep me off of the camera. But to still show people that even in this situation, you can still put valuable content out here for free, because eventually what you then will need to do is go pull all that free content in, make it professional, make it more detailed, and then put it back out there as something that is sold and paid content. Okay? This is why you hear me saying, do not underestimate your intellectual property. Okay? So let me pull up a screen here, and I'm going to show you the screen that Takora shared with us. So I have this spreadsheet open, okay? And here inside this spreadsheet, whatever her number was, and I'm going to do the best that I can to explain this spreadsheet. However, trust and believe, I'm going to share her presentation somehow so that you guys can get the full on definition of it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Melody. I'm still working with it. Like when I go back and look at some of my old images, I'm like, okay, she really looks good. That hairstyle is really working for her. Okay. But now that I done cut off all my gold, I feel like some of my pop is gone. But I didn't like the length. I like my hair short and spiky. I didn't like the length. And so I cut it off. And of course, then you realize you done cut off all your fire. So now what you gonna do? Anyway, I'm telling you, this Rona got us all twisted. But anyway, whatever her number was, this is where she placed it here inside of her rate. So obviously her number by the time she completes her 12-month is pretty much whatever this 285 worked back up through the screen I shared with you was. Okay. Now let me show you. Let's see here. This is where I first started playing around with the template, and then this is where I did my first workflow. Okay, so here is my first workflow. And what made me determine, one, I needed to create the form for people to have that information to fill out. Why? Because again, I was in Messenger giving free information through Messenger and text for however long I was, whether it was 15 minutes, whether it was 3 people for 15 minutes, whether it was 10 people for 5 minutes. Okay, that was a lot of free time that I could not recoup. However, if I take the opportunity to say 1 to 6 minutes is 0.1, this is the format for timing that she gave us. If I were to say 0.1, so say on average I spent 6 minutes. 6 minutes per person is a whole lot of minutes. But let's just say it's one person. I spend 6 minutes, either 1 to 6 minutes in text message. Based on my rate, that my time is actually now worth $156.25, I lost $15 per person. Now, when they go and book that free 15-minute appointment that I used to have on my Get Booked, if you don't know where that is, anytime you want to schedule time with me, you go to getbooked.martinabrityelverton.com. It will bring you here to my booking calendar. And here inside of my booking calendar, my resources are being robbed right now. Let's see if I can close a couple of windows, because she ain't supposed to move that slow. Yeah, she ain't supposed to move that slow coming up. There we go. It's supposed to pop right open. All right, so before, this is the after. Because before, I used to have this free 15-minute appointment plus a free 30-minute appointment for free, right? I only had 2 appointments now for free, and they both 15 minutes. Scratch all that 30 minutes worth of time. I only got 2 appointments now, and either you trying to get your brand started on Google or you trying to ask me a quick question, and guess what? You only get 1 of these. You can't keep booking back to back and back 15-minute free appointments with me any longer, because when you want to follow up, now you got to go to the 15-minute appointment that you have to pay $19. And I'm glad I see that, because this is supposed to say 19. Let's fix that. Excuse me. Let me please do this on camera, because sis don't have time for nobody to say, hey, I got the discounted one and I did this and it didn't charge me, you know, because I'm a passionist for what I do. I'm not going to cancel your appointment. You know, I'm going to honor what my website says. But as you see, we are fixing this quickly. You're going to see in 3, 2, 1 that that's going to change. 19 now says paid 19. I don't know why it still says free consultation, because on my end it says paid. BrandMaster paid $19 discount. 19. All right, let's refresh. That says free consultation. That should say paid consultation. This is the only free one, and that's for you guys inside the BrandMaster group. Okay, we're going to have to figure out what that glitch is. I'm glad I'm seeing that here live, because that should not be. It should not say free. You know what? I see what it is. I got duplicate appointments on here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Help me out, because sister was struggling. Okay, this one right here, I need to. So I have 3 free appointments here for the private group for the $19 monthly. And here's the one that's now paid for 15 minutes. Whew, work with me. I was going to say, because I went through making sure this was set up right this weekend once I went through this. Okay, back to my pricing calculation. Excuse me for that segue. Okay. So now when you book your appointment, you book it for 15 minutes, but you book this appointment for 15 minutes after you've completed that information. So now, once I take all the information that I gathered from that form, once I get all of that information, when I get on the call with you now, I already know whether or not you have your logo designed. I already know whether or not you're registered with your Chamber of Commerce. I already know whether or not you've gotten your domains or your emails or any of that set up, because I had you complete that form. It didn't take me, it took me less than 30 seconds to grab the link and send it to you. Or you went to sign up for your Get Booked free appointment, and because we had that first 15-minute consultation, when I ended that consultation and you got your follow-up email from me, it asked you to complete that form, right? Or while we were on that 15-minute consultation, I had your form sitting right there in front of me, and every question I asked you, I typed it in right then. So either way, I had that information. The goal is to get the information so you can best help the person, right? Again, follow up. Now I don't have to follow up notes inside of a calendar, because if you completed that form, all of your information is in there. And what I mean by follow up, when I have an appointment with people, I then go back to their calendar and I go back to whomever it was that I had an appointment with, and I type your information into the appointment. So let's see if I can find one where I know the client wouldn't mind me sharing that. I'm looking for Elva's appointment. And as you see, my calendar stays lit. I love working with people. I love helping them with whatever it is that I need to help them with. I know I had an appointment with Elva, and let's see, did I follow up with Mr. Owls? No, I didn't. I think I did him through the form. Did I follow up on that one? Nope. This one, all right, so let me go one step before that one, because me and Elva had an extensive one where I had to go through all of her brand information. All right, why you playing with me, calendar? All right, so let's see if this is the one. I'm trying to be thorough, guys. I don't want to give you half information, because I want you to see where you're actually losing a lot of your time at. And the only way I can actually drive this puppy home is to literally make you guys really see that you are losing a lot of time, you know, much like the time. There we go. Okay. Work with me. All right, so when I finish up, this is me trying to type up notes while I'm having the consultation. She sent me previously what her t-shirt design looked like, and I listened to everything that she's saying that she needed, and I sent her this blank information afterwards where she had to come back to it, and here is where she typed in all of the information that was per shirt. Okay, and so this is what I mean by following up with a consultation afterwards. Sometimes you'll be talking to someone and you'll need to follow up with them after you finish with things that you need for them to do, you know, homework that you need for them to do. And the best way to do that is to type it right directly into the calendar appointment. And so I was wanting to show you more of what it looked like, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm only using people who have visible information already. So I'm not divulging any client information. But that's what I do. When I finish up, I go to your calendar appointment that I've scheduled with you. And inside your calendar appointment, I'll post whatever it is. And sometimes I have to do it in Messenger because you're not a person who knows how to use the calendar. I haven't taught you that information yet. Either way, there's a follow-up. It takes about 20 minutes or so for me to go do all of that. The bottom line is right here is 0.6. Let's go down here and see what 0.6 is. 0.6 is over a half an hour. And that half an hour would have actually cost me $93 based on what it is that I did. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, say you're a person after that consultation, you said, yes, I need the branding. Well, the next thing I have to do is schedule an annual invoice or send your invoice based on that consult that we just had. It's going to take me about, 20 minutes or so to actually type up all the details in the invoice, make sure that my information inside of the invoice covers me and you at that amount. That's how long that takes. Then I have to go to your Trello board. If you've never heard or understood what a Trello board is, a Trello board allows me to create your brand with everything that we're going to do It allows me to put all my general agreement information over here to the left, my disclaimers, my liability information, your payments that you make, what the process looks like, some of the stipulations with regards to that. Then give you some general ideas of what a business card, what a logo design looks like, what your postcard, banners, what your custom domain is. A lot of people do not understand the reason for a domain. What do I need a domain for? What do I need a subdomain for? What is a vanity URL or a bit.ly shortener or a Google shortener or a tiny URL? They don't know that. So I give them that type of education here inside of a Trello board. They don't know why they need professional business email, what the difference between an email account and an email address is. They don't know that. So I have that here for education purposes and to solidify everything that we do. How can they set up posts and things to be set up in different formats? So now it has their logo on it, whatever they're saying is, whatever their goals is, whatever their before and after for a testimony is, whatever it is, I show them different ideas already set up so they can see this is what I'm going to do for them. All of that has to be set up inside of a Trello board. Then I have to call them back and we have an hour-long vision cast consultation. Sometimes I split this in half because this can be an overwhelming process, right? Sometimes I have to do that half and half. Then even after that, I have to go back to the board if I was not able to type that in while I'm talking to them and follow up with that. Again, that's another $273 amount of time that I needed to be making. Okay, so this is how you break down whatever your entire process is so that you can figure out how am I going to get, or Melanie, how are you going to get to your $120,000? Break down what it is you do every step of the way, all the way through your research and planning, design execution, any revisions, release and advertisement, content creation and marketing, merchandising setup, whether they're doing it for their own store or whether or not I'm putting them inside of my store, helping them understand the group coaching, and again, when it's time to go back and do everything on a review, right? I literally know this is $9,000 worth of my time, and here's the kicker. This is one client. That's how you see what your value is. This is $9,000. Now remember, if I wanted to divide that by a third, right now do you see why I know my project is a $3,000 project? I charge $1,500 because I need for people to understand this is real. This is real. This is real money. Here's the real value. And this is where I'll begin to close things out and take any additional questions that you have. When you go to search for me, let's just do a basic search. Martina Britt Yelverton. When you go to search for me, when that search happens, there's a different way I want it to do that. There we go. All right. There's a different way that I wanted that to happen, but I forget I'm searching for myself. So let me grab the screenshot that I sent to Juana, because for some reason, of course, when you go live and you show stuff, it does not show what you want it to show. But I did a search and I started searching for several of my clients because I wanted to see what Google would return in the way of keywords and things like that. And so what I was able, there we go. I was on images. That's why. I wanted to see what keywords Google would populate if I typed in MartinaBrittYelverton.com, Martina Britt Yelverton, Knightdale, North Carolina. This is what my brand looks like by image. Self-improvement, my previous company, my current company, getting paid, BrandMaster, pay raise, get branded, family first tees, YouTube, 30 ways, 30 days, chamber, compensation, focus on 4. That's what my brand looks like on the World Wide Web. I did that for several of my clients, and that is what helped me understand I need to help them understand how to master their brand. So if you go to Facebook and you go to my About section and you click on my details, You know exactly who I am, what it is that I do, how you can get it, why I do what I do, what my passion is, how it benefits me, how it benefits you. When you take the opportunity to go to my online portfolio, when you go follow Martina on Amazon, you're going to find my Amazon published book. When you go to follow Martina on Twitter, you're going to find my tweets that generally come from Facebook, because I don't tweet. I just need to be on there. So if you need to find where I'm actually at, you can. When you go to bit.ly/follow Martina on YouTube, you're going to end up seeing my videos. When you go over to that YouTube channel and you type in YouTube and you find me and you end up on my page some way or another, and again, you go to my about information, you're going to see the exact same information that you're going to find on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Facebook business page, Facebook personal profile, Twitter. You're going to find the same information. You will not be able to not know who I am, what it is that I do, how do I serve people, what my passion is, where you can find me, and you will have no problem figuring out how do I purchase something from her, because my process is very easy. You know whether or not you need my services. And I need everyone who is serious about getting to their end result magic number. I need them to have their brand set up so simplistically, so easily, that there's no way that they can miss their number. Okay, there's no way they can miss it, because they have blueprinted out every step along the way. So this is what I wanted to talk about today, but I literally was so excited. I felt like I would have been running through this training. I wouldn't have taken my time. I would have been honestly competing with everybody else that's on the internet smack in the middle of the day. I felt like I would have had issues with my streaming. And plus, again, I was so excited that I needed to slow down. So I know I'm going to have a lot of questions on here tomorrow. If everyone inside of the group gets this information, I know it's going to take a minute for it to even get found on YouTube, but I wanted to have the information out there for peak interest sake. So if someone wants to come in and figure out, how they can use this information, I'm going to invite them into the branding course. They'll get 30 days worth of free exposure to me. Then they can decide whether or not they want to even pay $19. But again, for you guys who are inside of here who work with me closely, the first thing that I ask is that you take the opportunity, please go fill out this form. Please fill out this information so that I can get to the end result of your responses here, and so that I can begin to put together a blueprint for you. Okay? That is my goal, to be able to see your answers and your responses here, and to be able to serve you with a blueprint and to help you get, obviously, to your $360,000 a year, Melanie, so you can do whatever you want to do with your $120,000 in profit. Okay? So that is really the time that I had allotted. I wanted to allot time to take my time to explain this, and then give you an opportunity. If off the cuff you have any questions, you can ask me those questions now. If you want to get all your questions together, complete your form, so that when you schedule your one free 15-minute appointment, we can make sure that it is maxed out to its fullest capacity. And I can help you be on your way to whatever your very next endeavor is. I know the next walkthrough training that I'm going to do is actually showing people how to become Amazon published authors. My book is published. I have the actual hard copies here. I'm going to turn this camera on only briefly so I can show you this, because I'm hidden behind the camera. Let's see. There you go. Can you see that? So I have the actual Amazon published book with the barcode on there. So I'm really excited about that. I have the hard copy book here. So now that I have it in my hot little hands, I feel better about explaining to people the process that I'm having to go through to get from that booklet format that I first sent out that has no barcode. But I was determined. I'm not going to keep waiting for this process to happen for my pre-sale sold book to get into the hands of my people who want it. Now that I have the actual physical Amazon published book, those who paid that extra $9 or $10 through Cash App, because they take their little fee through Cash App, now I can send everybody out this printed one as well. So I hope I've given you a cushion amount of time in case you did want to type up a question. Okay, I'm going to pop that one up here on the screen. I forgot I have all these options that I can do this for. I love that you say your wheels are turning. And of course, technology jacks you up when you try to get, stuff done. But here's the question that you're asking. I got to do the form. This is sinking in. I know I have more questions. Great. I need that info. Yes, I cannot wait to show people the Amazon published steps. I'm published as a co-author on Amazon, but I'm looking to do my own solo books. Oh, I'm so excited for your journey. I'm so excited for your journey because it just felt amazing to flip that book over and see that barcode today. So if you're a co-author, congratulations. I've actually done some forwards and some editing for several of my people who've been published. So my name is out there in a couple of books. Yay. Thank you, Everon Success Plan, for putting me on. Thank you to Your Money is Worthless, Edward Townsend. Thank you for putting me on. Thank you to Shamika Michelle for allowing me to edit and do your book cover and putting you on. Thank you to Dr. Shirley Clark for allowing me to do many of your book covers. Thank you, Cassie Ward Ministries, for allowing me to collaborate with you. I have so many people that my name is out there, but I was like, dadgummit, I need to see my name on something and my complete, publishing efforts and all of that, because I've been behind the scene helping so many people. So I wish nothing but that for you. And again, yes, that will be my core walkthrough for one of our next trainings. Right now, I'm actually working on Don't Put That Bill in Your Child's Name, how to actually implement a wealth strategy and hire your kids and work with your kids, from the comfort of your home-based business in your home. I'm actually putting that out in a step-by-step workbook for people to understand that their kids literally can work with them in business, and all of that extracurricular stuff you're paying for, all of those devices, all of the stuff you're paying for, you can literally write it off in a business, and you can teach your kids business ethics if they want to learn it. So that's the next published mint that I'm working on right now for Q2. And along with doing that, I'm actually allowing you guys to see me walk through the process of that. That's the way I'm showing you how to become an Amazon published author, because I'm actually going through that process and allowing you guys to see it. So this has been exciting. I'm glad I took my time with it tonight. I can't wait till everyone gets an opportunity to see it. I'm hoping you guys will do a lot with it, and that it will, just have your head ringing, like you said, full of a lot of questions, because this is the stuff leaders won't teach us. This is the real stuff. Like I said, I've been in business for 15 years. 3 of those was as a hobby. 12 of those literally has kept me from going back to getting a corporate job. So obviously I've been doing something. I'm just so glad that this something that I'm now doing is crystal clear. And I'm actually able to see. Now I see why I haven't been able to reach my income goals. I've made money. I've been home with my kids since birth, 2 of them. All of the teens that are now grown and gone out of the house, I've been home. I've been making money. I've been able to do it. I've struggled along the way. But now that I see the problem was my pricing, my mindset, my organization and diligence. People think this 30-day to self-improvement has to do with 30 days of walking through a journal. No, this has to do with consistency for 30 straight days, yielding to nothing, doing something for 30 straight days to determine if you can do it. And this branding concept has me helping people understand you must be okay with being repetitive. If you're going to have a business, you must be okay with being repetitive. Yes, it gets on your nerves, but if you're passionate about it, I don't care how many times I have to say, go clean up your Facebook profile, go clean up your Instagram pages, go fix your LinkedIn page to a business page, because business people are on LinkedIn. Stop tweeting stupid stuff. Stop watching, videos. If I have to say that every single day of the week. I'll say it every single day of the week, because at some point it will click in your head that I'm saying what is true and what has to happen for you to make that shift from being a hobby to a business to being a professional. Okay, so thank you for your time on tonight, Melanie. I'm glad I was able to turn on some light bulbs or screw them in a little bit tighter for you. And I cannot wait to see what you choose to do next on your journey to your success. To all of you that are catching the replay, I cannot wait to see your forms come in, to see your questions come in. To those of you who are catching this on YouTube way, way late, welcome to the party. My name is Martina Britt Yelverton. I am your brand master, and I'm just your good old country girl out of Knightdale, North Carolina. I look forward to talking to you who are going to catch this on Watch Me Work Wednesday. To your success, and thank you again for working with me tonight, Melanie. I appreciate you. Good night.